Stop everything you are doing at this very moment. Take a deep breath and pay attention, because what you are about to hear did not reach you by chance. Archangel Michael asked me to deliver this message today, and he told me, in silence, the name of the one who needs to hear it. Woman of faith. Weary woman. Woman who carries the weight of an entire family on her back and still smiles when someone asks if everything is all right. You have spent your whole life fighting for others, for the husband who fell ill, for the children who grew up without noticing how much you gave up, for the mother who aged and began to need care 24 hours a day, for the brother who lost his way, for the friend who only calls when in crisis. You became the shoulder, the lap, the safe harbor for everyone, and in that process, without noticing, you became invisible to yourself. Archangel Michael is raising his sword of fire now and saying, enough. It is no longer the time to keep carrying. It is the time to be carried. It is the time to occupy a new state of consciousness. Because while you feel you need to fight to exist, the universe gives you more fights. While you feel forgotten, life gives you more forgetfulness. And this, my dear, is not punishment. It is law. It is the law of assumption. And it is operating silently against you, without you realizing it. Wayne Dyer taught a truth that few have the courage to see. You do not attract what you ask for. You attract what you feel you already are. If you woke up today feeling tired, forgotten, alone in a house full of people, that is exactly what your subconscious projected for your day. The feeling is the secret, not the prayer made on your knees with tears in your eyes, not the request whispered in the dead of night. The feeling, the internal vibration, the state of consciousness that you occupy all the time, without noticing. And it is exactly here that Archangel Michael is intervening, because he saw from the heights that you are manifesting a life that is not yours. You are inhabiting, deep within, the feeling of someone who needs to fight to exist. And as long as this feeling dominates your I am, no blessing will be able to land in your life, because the blessing does not fit in the vessel of exhaustion. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you. Look within at this very instant. That discomfort that tightened just now, that tear that almost escaped, that shiver that went up your spine, none of this is by chance. You did not click on this video without a reason. You were guided. Archangel Michael is whispering that there is something greater happening in your life, and most women who receive this call cannot decipher it. They see the signs, they feel the restlessness. They realize they carry something important, but they do not understand the size of the spiritual mission that is upon them. You were chosen to protect your family, to reverse a cycle of pain, to break a chain of suffering that comes from previous generations. For this I have placed in your hands the work, How to Know If You Are Saved for the Day of Judgment. The link is pinned in the description of this video and also at the top of the comments for you to access now this minute. Hundreds of women have already read it, cried, knelt down, and changed the way they relate to God, to faith, and to themselves. Do not leave it for later. This video may be taken down at any moment, because truths like this disturb those who do not want you to wake up. If the message is touching your spirit, comment only Amen, Lord, to seal this moment. And now I need you to understand something that Archangel Michael wishes to reveal to you in depth. Your I am is the sacred name of God operating within you. When Moses asked for the Lord's name before the burning bush, the answer was, I am that I am. And that was not just a theological phrase, it was a key, the key to the universe. Every time you say I am, you are uttering the name of God within you, and that which follows this I am becomes law in your life. Think now. How many times this week have you said, I am tired, I am lonely, I am the only one who cares, I am forgotten, I am the one who gives everything and receives nothing. Each of these statements was a decree. It was a seal placed upon your energy field. It was a spiritual sentence pronounced against your own life. And the universe, obedient, delivered exactly that to you. Because the universe does not respond to what you want. It responds to what you feel you are. That is why Archangel Michael is placing the sword of fire before you today. To cut these statements, to burn these seals, to free you from the sentences you yourself have placed upon yourself, and to teach you how to use the I am as it was always meant to be used, as the throne of your manifestation. Imagine now, instead of saying, I am tired, saying with all the strength of your chest, I am rested. I am cared for, I am loved, I am fulfilled, I am blessed, I am enough. Feel the weight of this descend through your body. This is not cheap positivity. It is reprogramming. It is sacred consciousness. It is your state of consciousness being elevated to a new frequency. But there is a common mistake that annuls your manifestation, and Archangel Michael wants me to warn you about it before you close this video. I will reveal it shortly, and when you hear it, you will understand why so many women pray, fast, light candles, make promises, and yet continue to see the same life repeat year after year. The science of consciousness, studied today in the greatest institutes of the world, has discovered something that confirms the most ancient spiritual teachings. The human heart possesses an electromagnetic field 5,000 times stronger than that of the brain, and this field alters according to what you feel. When you feel fear, scarcity, resentment, this field emits a chaotic frequency that attracts more of the same. But when you feel gratitude, fulfillment, certainty, this same heart emits a harmonic frequency that reorganizes the fabric of your reality. That is why I prepared the powerful digital book for you. Everything that is awakening now within you is Archangel Michael warning you that the time for delaying is over. Your family needs you whole, not a shadow exhausted. And for this awakening, I give you how to know if you are saved for the day of judgment. The link is in the description and at the top of the comments. Access it before this video goes offline. This warning will not knock twice on the same door. Now pay very close attention, because Archangel Michael will reveal to you the fourth dimension. There are 3 dimensions that we all know: height, width, and depth. It is the world we see with physical eyes, that we touch with our hands. But there is a 4th dimension, and it is there that everything happens before it manifests in concrete reality. The 4th dimension is the dimension of conscious imagination. It is the realm of the not yet that already is. It is the inner heaven where things take shape before they descend to earth. When Jesus said the kingdom of God is within you, he was not using a beautiful metaphor. He was revealing a technical and spiritual reality. The kingdom, the place where everything is possible, where the will of the Father is fulfilled instantly, is within your heart, your sanctified imagination. And Archangel Michael reminds you now that all your creation happens on this plane before it descends to the material plane. Therefore, my dear, if you spend the entire day imagining bills arriving, your husband pulling away, your child getting hurt, or your mother getting worse, you are literally constructing these scenes in the 4th dimension. And the universe, obedient to the law, brings to the physical plane what you have constructed on the spiritual plane. You are the creator. You are the engineer. You are the architect of your own experience. And at the same time, you are its victim when you do not realize this power. The law of assumption operates like this. Assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled, and the universe will be forced by law to deliver the manifestation. It does not matter how long it takes. It does not matter if the physical evidence says otherwise. It does not matter what others say. What matters is the state of consciousness you decide to occupy. And persistence in this state is what separates the women who see miracles from those who only keep asking for them. But there is something few women understand, and Archangel Michael wants you to hear with your spiritual ear open right now. Persistence is not insisting with God. It is not repeating the same prayer 1,000 times in the hope of moving heaven. Persistence, in the deepest spiritual sense, is refusing to leave the state of blessing even when the external world screams that it has not arrived. It is continuing to sleep, night after night, with the certainty of one who has already received, even if in the morning the circumstances still seem heavy. It is the inner fidelity to the new version of you that is being born, even if the old one still appears in the mirror. And here we arrive at the most important moment of this encounter. Archangel Michael will show you now the technique that changes destinies. Nighttime reprogramming. Those minutes that precede sleep, when your brain enters alpha and theta waves, are sacred minutes. They are the gateway to the subconscious. It is the hour when the gate of the 4th dimension opens, and everything you feel in that instant is engraved as a sentence upon the soul. Most women use this sacred moment to review problems, to mentally retell what went wrong during the day, to worry about tomorrow, to ruminate on old hurts, and by falling asleep with this burden, they seal one more day of suffering into the reality of the next day. They wake up tired, even after having slept for 8 hours. They wake up heavy, even for no apparent reason, because they slept with the weight of scarcity engraved upon their soul. Archangel Michael is asking you today to change this ritual. Tonight, when you close your eyes, do this with all the truth of your heart. Imagine a scene that proves that your desire has already been fulfilled. It can be a short scene, an intimate scene, a conversation with someone congratulating you on your victory, a tight hug from someone who has returned home, a moment in the kitchen where you smile to yourself because peace has finally arrived. And feel it as if it were real. Feel the warmth, feel the scent, feel the sound, and fall asleep in that feeling. This is the secret that Wayne Dyer called the state akin to sleep, the golden door of manifestation. That is why I have prepared this powerful digital book for you. What you are feeling right now, that tightness in your chest mixed with a strange hope, is the sign that something in your spirit has just awakened. Archangel Michael is confirming that you are no ordinary woman. You are a guardian, and guardians need spiritual weapons to protect those under their care. That is why I have placed in your hands the work, How to Know If You Are Saved for the Day of Judgment. More than 8,000 Brazilian women have already transformed their lives by reading this work. They emerged from depression. They reconciled marriages that seemed lost. They saw their children return home. They received answers to prayers of an entire decade. The link is pinned in the description below and also at the top of the comments, highlighted. Access it now before this content is removed. Heaven does not knock twice on the same door. If your soul is vibrating, write in the comments, I accept Archangel Michael, and seal this alliance together. And while you sleep in the imagined scene, something extraordinary happens. Your subconscious, which does not distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined, begins to operate to make this scene true in the physical world. The right people begin to appear. The right doors open. The right paths are drawn. It is what Wayne Dyer called the bridge of incidents. Those small, seemingly random events, which appear to be coincidences, but are actually the invisible bricks with which the universe is building the bridge between the state you have assumed and the reality you are going to inhabit. The bridge of incidents can begin in unexpected ways. A phone call you did not expect, an old message that resurfaces, a chance encounter at the supermarket, an idea that pops out of nowhere in the shower, news that changes everything. Do not mistake these events for mere chance. They are the universe's obedience to the state of consciousness you have decided to occupy. Now, my dear, let me reveal to you the common mistake that cancels the manifestation of so many women of faith. It is the internal dialogue, that silent conversation you have with yourself all day long, and which is often completely at odds with what you say you want. You pray for healing, but your internal dialogue repeats, "This is never going to get better." You ask for the return of love, but your internal dialogue whispers, "He is already gone forever." You beg for financial liberation, but your internal dialogue declares, "I have always lived strapped for cash and always will." And the universe, which does not listen to your Sunday prayer, but listens to your Monday thought, hears your Tuesday worry, hears your Wednesday disbelief, delivers exactly what you are conversing with yourself about all the time. Archangel Michael is today placing the focus of heaven upon this internal conversation, because that is where your real life dwells. Your formal prayer is the storefront window. Your internal dialogue is the stockroom. And what goes out to the world is always the stockroom, never the storefront. Therefore, start observing. When you are washing the dishes, what are you talking to yourself about? When you are in traffic, what scene is playing in your head? When you are alone at night, before going to sleep, what silent conversation is taking place in your heart? Because that conversation, my dear, is your true prayer, and it is what the universe is answering every morning. Archangel Michael gives you today a simple and powerful technique. Whenever you realize you are in an internal dialogue of scarcity, stop, breathe, and rewrite the conversation. Instead of, "I can't handle this," say internally, "I have already handled it. I am the one who won. I am the one who received. Instead of, he isn't coming back, say, he has already returned. The reconciliation has already happened on the spiritual plane and is descending to the material plane. Instead of, these bills are going to kill me, say they are already paid. The provision has already arrived. I live in abundance. This is not alienation. This is not make-believe. This is the technical and correct use of sanctified imagination. This is occupying the fourth dimension with authority. This is speaking from the same place from which Jesus spoke when he said, "It is finished." It was not finished on the physical plane. Christ was still on the cross, but it was finished on the plane of consciousness, and what is finished there, sooner or later, manifests here. Think now, my dear Brazilian, of your daily context. Think of the bill that arrived this week and kept you up at night. Think of the relationship that is hanging by a thread. Think of that difficult conversation you need to have with the teenage child who has drifted away. Think of the old wound with your mother or your sister, the one that never seems to heal. Think of the fear that visits you at 3 in the morning, when the house is silent and your heart is screaming inside. Each of these situations is merely the reflection of a state of consciousness. It is not an external problem. It is an internal vibration materialized, and as long as you try to solve the problem only on the outside, it will keep coming back, with different names, with different faces, but with the same essence. Because the universe is mirroring, with mathematical fidelity, your inner state. Archangel Michael is not here to give you another piece of cheap motivational advice. He is here to remind you that you have the power to change the mirror by changing the original, and the original is you, your feeling, your I am, your state of consciousness. You see, there is something very specific that happens to Brazilian women over 35. You were educated, for the most part, within a faith that teaches you to ask for much and receive little. You were raised watching your mothers praying the rosary, with tears running down their faces, making heavy promises, offering sacrifices, and unconsciously you learned that to receive from God, you must suffer first. You must prove worthiness. You must endure a quota of pain before the blessing arrives. But Archangel Michael wants you to hear with absolute clarity, God does not require suffering as currency. The Lord does not negotiate blessings with tears. Grace is free. That is why it is called grace. And what prevents you from receiving it is not an unfulfilled quota of pain. It is a state of consciousness that keeps saying, I am not worthy. I still need to fight more. God is still testing me. When you change this state and begin to inhabit the feeling of one who is already a beloved daughter, already cared for, already provided for, already embraced by heaven, your life begins to reflect this new truth. Not by magic, by law, by the law of assumption. And think also of the new love that you might be secretly desiring, without having the courage to admit it, even to yourself. Perhaps your marriage ended years ago on an emotional level, even if the document is still in effect. Perhaps you are lonely in a way you wouldn't even tell your closest friends. Perhaps you have given up believing that there is still someone in the world capable of loving you as you deserve. Archangel Michael whispers now in your ear, love already exists. It is already walking upon the earth. It is already breathing the same air as you. And the universe is just waiting for you to occupy the state of consciousness of the beloved woman to build the bridge of incidents that will unite you. But as long as you feel abandoned, the universe will mirror abandonment. As long as you feel unchosen, the universe will mirror rejection. As long as you feel too old, too tired, too damaged, the universe will mirror exactly that feeling in the form of men who repeat your pain. The solution is not to look for someone. It is to become the woman who is already loved. It is to go to sleep tonight feeling deeply loved. It is to wake up tomorrow with the smile of one who is desired. It is to walk the streets with the lightness of one who is cared for. And when this state of consciousness seals within you, the right man appears, without effort, without anxiety, without an app, by law, by the same law that makes the sun rise every day without needing anyone to ask it to. And think now of your entire family, of that child who has drifted away and seems to live thousands of miles away, even while sleeping in the room next door, of that brother who lost himself in his own vices. You were placed in this lineage with a specific mission, and Archangel Michael is revealing to you now that this mission cannot be fulfilled by an exhausted woman. The mission demands your fullness. Therefore, before saving anyone in your family, save yourself. Before praying for anyone, pray for yourself. Before carrying any cross, put down the cross that is not yours. And understand, with the depth that this truth deserves, that taking care of yourself is not selfishness. It is spiritual obedience. Because a full woman blesses multitudes, an empty woman makes the whole house sick. The nightly reprogramming that Archangel Michael teaches you today is your daily altar. You don't need a church, you don't need a pastor, you don't need witnesses. Only you, your pillow, and the courage to close your eyes, imagining the scene of the life you have already received. Do this for 7 consecutive nights with absolute fidelity, and Archangel Michael guarantees you that something will begin to move. Small coincidences, people reappearing, ideas emerging, opportunities knocking at the door. It is the bridge of incidents being built stone by stone while you sleep peacefully. But persistence is everything. Because there will be days when the external world will scream louder than your new state of consciousness. There will be mornings when the old woman will want to return to inhabit your body. There will be moments when the old sentence will want to be rewritten in your heart. And it is in these moments that your choice counts. It is in these moments that you decide if you will remain faithful to the new version of you that is being born, or if you will return to the old prison you know by heart. Archangel Michael has his sword raised over you now. He is cutting the threads of your old sentences, but he cannot choose for you. He can only remind you of your power. The final choice is yours. And this choice is not made only once. It is made with every thought, with every word, with every internal dialogue, with every feeling you decide to feed or refuse. There is a decree that Archangel Michael asked me to share with you today. A simple decree, but so powerful that it reorganizes your electromagnetic field in a few seconds when spoken with truth. Repeat with me, in your thoughts or out loud. I am whole. I am cared for. I am loved. I am provided for. I am the one who receives. I am the one who rests. I am the peace of my home. I am the victory of my family. And in me, heaven has already been fulfilled. Feel it now. Feel the weight of this declaration descend down your spine. Feel the warmth in your chest. Feel the vibration at your fingertips. This is your state of consciousness being elevated. This is the law of assumption being activated. This is the name I am being restored to its inner throne. And as you say this, remember something fundamental. The like on this video, subscribing to this channel, hitting the notification bell, all of these are not mere gestures. For you who are experiencing this spiritual awakening at this very instant, this is a decree of acceptance. It is your hand telling the universe, I accept this new reality. I accept this new awareness. I accept being the loved, cared for, and fulfilled woman I have always been called to be. Each time you tap the heart on the like button, you are sealing this decree. Each time you subscribe to the channel, you are aligning your field to a new frequency. Do this now before continuing, because Archangel Michael wants this covenant to be solidified with action and not just thought. There are more errors that annul your manifestation. The first, as we have already mentioned, is destructive inner dialogue. The second is impatience. Wanting the manifestation to arrive before your inner vibration has stabilized in the new frequency. It is like planting a seed and pulling it from the soil every day to check if it is growing. The seed never germinates under these conditions. Neither does the state of consciousness. The third error is what Wayne Dyer called looking outward before sealing within. It is checking the physical world, looking for proof that your desire has already arrived. It is looking at your phone expecting a message. It is looking at your bank account expecting a deposit. It is looking at the door expecting a return. And by doing this, you shift out of the state of blessing and fall into the state of lack. And the universe, faithful to the last registered frequency, delivers more lack to you. The golden rule is this: live as if you have already received it. Do not look for proof. Do not check. Do not doubt. Simply inhabit the feeling. And let the bridge of incidents do its silent work while you occupy yourself with living in the new frequency. The fourth error is telling your spiritual secrets to people who still live in the old consciousness. When you share your new desire, your new decision, with someone who still dwells in the frequency of scarcity, that person returns, unknowingly, an energy load that dilutes your vibration, not out of malice, but by contagion. That is why Archangel Michael guides you today. Guard your desire, seal it in the secret of your heart, and only share it after it has already manifested in the physical plane. And the fifth error, perhaps the most subtle of all, is praying by asking. Yes, you heard that right. Praying by asking, in the traditional sense, keeps you in the frequency of lack, because one who asks, by definition, does not yet have. Effective prayer, according to Wayne Dyer, is the prayer of anticipated gratitude. It is giving thanks for what is not yet seen, as if it were already seen. It is giving thanks for healing as if it had already happened. It is giving thanks for love as if it were already embracing you. This is the prayer that moves heaven, because this is the prayer that occupies the state of the wish fulfilled. When Jesus prayed before the tomb of Lazarus, he did not ask for the resurrection. He gave thanks. Father, I thank you because you have heard me. Lazarus was still dead, still wrapped in linens, still in the cold sepulchre, and yet Jesus gave thanks, as if the resurrection had already occurred, because for the Christ the manifestation on the spiritual plane was already the manifestation. The physical plane was merely the chronological confirmation. Learn to pray as Christ prayed. Do not ask. Give thanks, do not beg. Decree, do not kneel in supplication. Stand up in recognition. And watch in a few weeks as your life begins to reorganize from the inside out, without anyone understanding how. As this meeting draws to a close, Archangel Michael wishes to share one final truth with you, perhaps the most important of all. You do not need to understand how the manifestation will occur. You only need to inhabit the state of consciousness. The how belongs to the universe. The when belongs to heaven. Your only function is the feeling. And when you free yourself from the obligation to understand, to plan, to control, it is exactly at that moment that the manifestation accelerates. Think of all the times you worried so much about a situation, and it only got worse. Now think of a moment when, out of exhaustion or surrender, you simply let go. And that is exactly when the wind changed. That was when the phone rang. That was when the answer arrived. That was no accident. That was the law of assumption in operation. The moment you let go, your vibration shifted. And your new vibration allowed the universe to deliver what was waiting. Let go now. Release control. Release anxiety. Release fear. And trust. Trust as Mary trusted when she heard the angel say, "Rejoice, you who are highly favored." Trust as Sarah trusted when the promised son was born in her old age. Trust as Esther trusted when she stood before the king without having been called. You are in a spiritual lineage of women who trusted before they saw, and because of that, they saw. And you are the next in that lineage. The night you spend tonight in the silence of your room can be the turning point of your entire story. Not by the time on the clock, but by the content of your feeling. If you sleep tonight, inhabiting the state of the cared-for woman, the beloved woman, the provided-for woman, the woman protected by the eternal I Am, your tomorrow begins to reorganize while you are still dreaming. This is how destinies change, not with grand gestures, but with silent fidelity to a new feeling, repeated night after night until it becomes your second nature. And when you wake up tomorrow, observe the small signs, a word spoken by a stranger at the bakery, a song playing on the radio at the right time, a dream remembered in the morning, a light coming through the window in a different way. These are not coincidences. They are the universe confirming to you that your new frequency has been registered, that the bridge of incidents has begun to be built, that heaven is in motion for you. Most women do not see these signs because they keep their eyes fixed on the old reality. But you who received this call today will begin to see with new eyes, eyes of the I Am, eyes of the fourth dimension, eyes that recognize the work of heaven even in the most discreet details of daily life. And always remember, Archangel Michael did not call you today to give you more weight. He called you to free you from the weight that was never yours. You were not born to be the martyr of your family. You were born to be its light, and light is not made by bleeding. Light is made by shining. and you only shine when you inhabit the state of consciousness of the woman who has already received, the woman who already is, the woman who is already fulfilled in the eternal. That is why I have prepared this powerful digital book for you. Everything that has entered your heart today, every word, every shiver, every tear that fell without warning, is Archangel Michael forging a covenant with you. And this covenant cannot remain incomplete. The work, How to Know If You Are Saved for the Day of Judgment, is the direct continuation of this encounter. Within it, you will find the complete nocturnal decrees, the detailed technique for subconscious reprogramming, the prayer of anticipatory gratitude, and the signs from heaven confirming that your manifestation is drawing near. The link is pinned in the description below, and also at the top of the comments, highlighted so you do not miss it. Access it now, this very instant, before this content is taken down. More than 8,000 Brazilian women have already seen their lives changed after this reading. You are the next in this heavenly line. Comment on this video, with an open heart, the word received to seal this encounter with Archangel Michael. And tell me right below which area of your life you decree to be transformed today, so that other women in calling may pray alongside you for your manifestation. May the peace of the Lord dwell in your home. May Michael's sword protect your family. May the eternal I Am be restored in your heart. And may this night, as you close your eyes, you fall asleep in the scene of your victory, knowing that all is already finished in the spiritual realm and is descending at this very instant into the material plane of your life. Amen and amen.